Welcome to Bagalkote Learning Site. We are extremely happy and honored to have all of you here today. We see this learning site not just as a place to transfer the knowledge and experience that we have gained in Bagalkote demonstration project, but as a place to exchange experiences and ideas with different sets of people. We are sure this will catalyze better solutions and new ideas for doing things.
The Bagalkote demonstration project has taught us many vital lessons. For example, on the issue of scaling up the program, we learned how important it is to mobilize communities, how important it is to mobilize villages and the people within the villages. Also, how essential it is to motivate people to access services and build sustainable resources for the program. We learned to embed HIV amongst all the other challenges that the community faced. The lessons from the Bagalkote demonstration project were always intended to feed back into the program at the national level and into other states. It was also intended to shape policies, processes and strategies, especially those related to the rural epidemic and high-risk groups. The foundational aspects of the Bagalkote demonstration project provided the project so many lessons that it is now an integral part of the curriculum of the Bagalkote learning site. Let us now turn to the mandate of the Bagalkote learning site.
Having been identified and mandated by NACO as a learning site, the challenge for us has been in trying to recapture the experiences we had in Bagalkote in a meaningful manner so that the learners can move forward and authenticate that and replicate that in their settings.
To achieve these two outcomes, the learning site seeks to focus on two related aspects. Firstly, it focuses on the experience of designing and planning a comprehensive district response to HIV and AIDS. There is also a focus on the importance of evidence-based planning and key guiding principles in developing the project structure. Secondly, the learning site shares the community processes that were adopted in order to integrate them into the design and features of the program. We hope that the learning site will give us a new opportunity to look at what can be done to better situate HIV and AIDS in the context of a scaled-up national program. It will provide us an opportunity to learn how best we can guarantee to the community the continuum of services intended for them, from prevention to care and support to treatment. So first, let us understand the larger context in which the project was situated.
In this overview, we will focus on getting to know the district, its socioeconomic realities, and understand the factors that made it highly vulnerable to HIV and the subsequent response that grew out of it. To facilitate an active engagement from the presentation, we have traced it from the inception phase when we visited the district of Bagalkote, listened to the community, learned from them the experience of HIV epidemic, saw the ground realities, and assessed the feasibility of initiating a demonstration project, to the more distinct and creative phase of designing and planning the project.
The district of Bagalkote experiences many challenges. One of its defining features is that it is predominantly rural, with merely 12 towns. Having an irrigated belt, some areas witness significant in-migration of labor. With a literacy rate of 49%, the district record is far below the national average. There is also a high concentration of traditional, home-based female sex workers, many of whom are spread across the villages and small towns. By 2003, the ANC surveillance indicated an HIV prevalence rate as high as 3%. It is not surprising that a comprehensive census survey found AIDS as the leading cause of death in adults from 15 to 49 years in urban and rural areas. One often comes across the statement that HIV is not just a virus or a disease, but a development concern that gets influenced by and emerges out of many social realities. This is amply borne out in Bagalkot. Many factors contributed to the increasing HIV incidence. Let us now examine each one of them.
Every section of the community began to express concern and voice the need to actively intervene. Some suggested that drought-forced migration led to higher risk of contracting HIV.
ಈ ಬಿಜಾಪುರ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ಬರಗಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರಾದಂಥ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರಿಂದ 4 ದೊಡ್ಡ ನದಿಗಳು ಹರಿದಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಬರಗಾಲವನ್ನು ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ದುಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು, ವಲಸೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ವಲಸೆ ಹೋಗೋದಂತೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ, ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಬರಗಾಲ, ಅವರು ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು.
They also recognize Almaty Dam as a defining marker in many ways. While it symbolized prosperity, it also redefined the present in every possible manner and posed new challenges for the displaced.
ಆಲಮಟ್ಟಿ ಯೋಜನೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗೆ, ಬಿಜಾಪುರ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟ್, ಬಸವನ ಬಾಗೇವಾಡಿ, ಬೀಳಿಗಿ, ಮುದೋ, ಜಮಖಂಡಿ ತಾಲೂಕಿನ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳು ಮುಳುಗಡೆ ಅದು. ಸುಮಾರು 159 ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳು, ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪಟ್ಟಣ ಕೂಡ ಮುಳುಗಡೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಇದು ಬೆಳೆಯುವಂಥ ನೆಲ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಡ್ತು. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬೀಳಿಗಿ, ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟ್, ಹುನಗುಂದ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಭಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಭೂಮಿ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಂಥ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಒಂದೇನು ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಬಂತು, ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆವತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡಿದ್ದರಿಂದ, ದುಡ್ಡವ್ರ ಹಣ ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಭಾಳ ಜನ ಹಣನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು.
To some, the dam has meant a breakdown of social structures, an experience you will hear shared by Sashikant Basappa of Rampur village, formerly belonging to Alur village but now submerged by the Almaty Dam.
ಇದೇ ನನ್ನ ಮುಳುಗಡೆ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಲೂರು ಗ್ರಾಮ. ಆ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 500ರಿಂದ 600 ಜನ, 600 ಮನೆಗಳು ಇದ್ದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಆನಂದದಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೆವು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಕ್ಕಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸುಂದರವಾದಂಥ, ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನಾಗರಿಕತೆ ಉಳ್ಳಂಥ, ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಚ್ಚ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮೂರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ನೀರಿನ ಈ ಏನು ಒಂದು ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನದಿ ಬಂತು, ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜನಾಂಗ, ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನರು ಹರಿದು ಹಂಚಿ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ರು. ತಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಊರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋದರು, ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳು ಕಳೆದು ಹೋದು. ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಹಣ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ನಮಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬಂಗಾರ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಹರಿದು ಹಂಚಿ ನಾಶ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನು, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಂದೂ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
When we went to the villages and looked at the vulnerabilities of the villages, whether it was because of the submergence and relocation due to Almaty Dam, or due to in and out migration of workers, or due to prolonged drought, we realized that vulnerability to HIV is to great extent influenced by people who are placed within the community, the manner in which they interact with each other, and the kind of individual risks they experience. This was particularly evident among communities such as Devdasis, who were most adversely impacted by the changes that the district was witnessing.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ದೇವದಾಸಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಒಂದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾದಾಗ ದುಡ್ಡಿಂದ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹುಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕಬ್ಬಿಂದು ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಅದಾವ. ಕಬ್ಬಿನ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಗಳು ಅಷ್ಟು ಅದಾವ, ಮತ್ತು ಹೊರಗಿನ ಜನ ದುಡ್ಯಾಕು ಬರ್ತಾರ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಅದಾವ, ಮತ್ತು ಹಣ್ಣಿನ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಚಲೋ ಐತಿ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ. ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಗಿರಾಕಿಗಳು ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಿಂದ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗ, ಬೀದರ್, ಬಿಜಾಪುರ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬೆಳಗಾವಿ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸೈಡ್ಗಳು ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಗಿರಾಕಿಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಬರ್ತಾರ. ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಸಿಟಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಬಂದು ದಂಧೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟು ದಂಧೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ರ. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಹಾಕೋತ್ ಬಂದಂಗ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಅರಿವು ಬರಾಕತ್ತಿತ್ತ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯನ್ನ ಏನು ಏಡ್ಸನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬರೋದನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಏಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಕಳಂಕ ಬಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ದೇವದಾಸಿ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಏಡ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತ. ಮತ್ತು ಇವರ ದೇವದಾಸಿನ ಇವರ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರ, ಇವ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗೂ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರ, ದೊಡ್ಡವರಾದಾಗ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರ ಅಂತ. ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಳು ದುಡಿಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇವರಲ್ಲಿನ ಒಂದು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಒಂದು ರೋಗ ಬರ್ತಾವಂತೀವಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಾಕೈತಿ.
Even as everyone was seeking to understand HIV and hoping against hope that the situation was not too bad, doctors found themselves least prepared to deal with what they saw in patient after patient. Clearly, this was a medical problem that they knew very little about. When they recall those trying days and years that stand out in their own confusion, dilemma, and a frantic search for information and training.
In 1994, that is the first time I experienced the diseases, this HIV, especially in these pediatric cases. 94, we didn't have the facility to test it also. In 92, even we didn't have the what is this spot test, etc., etc. I was not knowing. Took my professor's help and I started recognizing this HIV cases. So I was searching for the regular causes as we had learned in our medical education. So they never used to fit. So we used to diagnose. It is an uncommon something or something surprising, something not fitting to our knowledge or this protocol.
The district of Bagalkot experiences many challenges. The subsequent displacement of an entire community, coupled with rich cash compensation, not only created a generation that lost its social moorings, but also led to unsafe behavior. This, together with the presence of the entrenched Devadasi tradition and high sex worker mobility, heightened the collective vulnerability to HIV and AIDS. Having got an idea about the kind of challenges and predicaments the community was facing, it became necessary for the project to do a more formal assessment.
We needed to measure HIV incidence, quantify the extent of risk and vulnerabilities communities were experiencing, comprehend barriers to risk and vulnerability perception, conduct formal assessments in partnership with the community and keeping with the guiding principles of the project.